Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you.
Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to a special episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and today we got a special guest. We got Max visiting us. Anyway, today we're going to take the mystery out of the top 5 brake barrels. In other words, the top 5 brake barrels that we've reviewed since inception. But before we get started here, do me a favor. If you hadn't, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really does help support the channel. Also, check out the website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, we're going to have the Generation 2 bipods. We got hats, t-shirts. Those of you that have Gamma rifles with the Sat or Cat triggers, we got the trigger kits for you. You'll turn those triggers into a matte style trigger, but at a very, very minimal price. It really will. Anyway, and also don't forget, check out my personal inventory. At some point, you'll be absolutely surprised what ends up on that site. That's for sure. So keep an eye on that. All right, let's get back to where we started again. All right, Max, you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
As I said before, we're going to do the top 5 brake barrels that we reviewed. I know there's going to be others out there that you feel that your idea of a brake barrel something should be at the top of that list. I'm sure there's plenty of them that should, but these are actually just the rifles we've tested since we started this channel. So out of all the rifles we went through, and I'm going to tell you, you probably count them up to probably well over 100 brake barrels that we reviewed. So we're going to show you our top 5. And speaking of that, looking at these videos, yeah.
Well, the way this is going to work is we're going to introduce the gun and provide some video highlights. Okay? Now, the best thing is you can tune in for a full review on each one of these guns.
Yeah, and I'll make sure I leave you guys a link down below in the video. So if you decide you want to see the full review on any of these specific guns, then you go right ahead and just click on that link and you'll be good to go. So I bet you guys are anticipating what's going to be the number 5, because we're going to go in order, as in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So number 5, guys, guessing? What do we got, Max, for number 5?
Here you go.
Ooh, that's one of my favorites, definitely. Yes, all 5 of them are my favorites. The Sig Sour. This is the ASP-20. William, check this one out. Anyway, that's just kind of a little inside joke. Anyway, this is definitely a fan favorite. You know, the worst part is they don't make it anymore. Sig made this for a few years, and then that was it. They stopped. But this is a Magnum brake barrel. This one is in .22 caliber, and this has the unique Sig's cocking system, where it actually reduces the cocking weight, which is great. So you're getting a Magnum power with like standard cocking effort. And then this also has the V-lock system, where the barrel has a V in it and it actually locks down into the chamber in this area, where you get that nice solid lock in, so your accuracy is not effective. What else is great about this thing?
Well, it's got a nice wood stock here. You'll see that the safety is built into the stock. It's ambidextrous actually on both sides here. And it's got its own set of triggers by the company.
Yeah, great trigger. Yeah,
a really nice trigger setup.
Yeah.
And of course, in addition.
Yes, in addition, we were just going to say that you check out those cool bipods. Yeah, those are the Airgun Detectives official bipods, Generation 2 bipods. And those are on the website anytime you want them. But as you can see, they set up nice here on this Sig Sour. Again, so sorry they don't make this anymore. But anyway,
let's take a look and see how it goes.
All right, let's check it out. 825. A little bit of variation there, but that's the real world feet per second on this, using a 15.89 grain pellet. Let's move on to our next segment. And there you go. Like I said, I've done a lot better groups than that. It's typical when you get on camera, you don't quite shoot quite as well because you're hurrying, there's a little wind, there's a few other things going on. But anyway, amazing accuracy. Let's move on to the next segment. I got our little Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's see what type of trigger pull we get. Let's see here. 1 pound, 12 ounces. This is really an amazing trigger on this gun. All right, so you guys saw, once again, just a reminder of how the SIG performed. Hey, one thing I do want to bring up, that SIG target, that was very early on when we did the review on that, and we did not have as many pellets to test. Since then, we've had a lot more selection of pellets, and we basically are getting this thing stacking pellets. It's a tack driver. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, it's improved so much more.
Yeah, it definitely has improved a lot more. So don't be judging the SIG by that specific paper target, because once you find the right pellet, and we've always talked about that, your rifle, your air rifle will find the right pellet. You just got to introduce it. So you got to show them a bunch of different pellets, right size, weights, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's amazing. When you find that pellet, that rifle picks it, you cannot believe the difference. And like I said, we've definitely have much improved targets since then. So let's move on. So what are we up to? Number 4, right? Number 4. You guys have any idea who number 4 might be? The identity of number 4? We're gonna find out. Max, show you. Ooh, the Diana. This is the AMO AMO 3, which is pretty awesome. And once again, it does have the Generation 2 Airgun Detective bipods on it. Yep. It makes such a nice, stable shooting platform. It really does. Anyway, what do you think about this one there, Max?
Oh, it's a great gun. I don't think you can find any list of top 5 or top 10 guns where you're not going to find a Diana.
Yeah,
So,
you're right. The Dianas are always in that top group. They've always got some impressive air rifle. And this is definitely an impressive air rifle. This has a composite stock with the cheek rest, adjustable cheek rest, and this does have their famous T06 trigger, which is an outstanding trigger. And one other thing, this one is a gas ram, and so was the SIG previously. That was a gas ram. So these have a gas piston in them. What else do you like about this one?
the cocking effort on this thing is easy. You can shoot this thing all day long. And I like the way that it is an automatic safety, but the way it's set up, it's so natural so that your thumb can just disengage the safety when you're ready to fire.
Nice. And this one is suppressed as well.
Yep.
Yep.
And you got the cheek stock there.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what we talked about. You got the adjustable cheek rest here, which is pretty awesome. Anything else before we go let these viewers take a look?
They should take a look and see how it performs.
Go ahead and check this out. And $695. Not too shabby. We're hovering around 700 feet per second for a 14.66 grain pellet. It's not too shabby. Let's move on to the next segment. And there you go. Not a bad grouping. This is a terrific gun with a terrific trigger. Let's move on to the next segment. Fantastic. These come standard with the T06 trigger. It's incredible. So let's reset our little trusty Lyman trigger gauge and see what we get. Got a 1 pound trigger on a break barrel. That's pretty amazing. These are terrific triggers. Yeah, you can't beat the T06, that's for sure. Let's move on to our next segment. As you can see by that Diana's performance, it's definitely an all-star, and that's what we're displaying here is an all-star cast. All of these guns are all-stars. These just in the order that we particularly, which ones we like best. So anyway, what do you think?
No, you're saying the right thing. I mean, it's so small differences between them.
Yeah, no, there really is. There really is. Okay, so we're ready for number 3. Can anyone guess what number 3 is? All right. How about the word Feinwerkball? Okay, and don't you guys speak German? I don't want to see a bunch of messages, but this is the Feinwerkball Sport. Oh, let me help you out here. Let's get this up here so you guys can see it. There you go.
Beautiful gun.
This is absolutely one gorgeous rifle. If you guys didn't know, they only make this in .177 caliber. But this, I tell you, the rifle itself, honestly, this is really close to just number 1 just because of just the finish. The bluing on it, the stock is absolutely amazing. It really is. It's just Beautiful. No, I don't have bipods on this. You want to know the truth? I looked at this gorgeous stock, and I'm like, I cannot drill holes in it. I just can't. It's just too beautiful. It really is. I mean, gorgeous rifle, that's for sure. And the trigger on this, it's their own trigger, and it is literally amazing. And this, by the way, is a spring piston. This is a spring piston. And what else about this one?
Beautiful setup. You cock it, you have an automatic safety engagement. But again, it's easy right here at your thumb. You disengage it. It's one of the two that come with a open sights.
Yeah, so those of you that like to shoot open sights, this one comes with it. A scope on it is definitely an option on it.
Yeah, and the ease of cocking, it's another one that you can do all day.
It's quite the rifle. Like I said in the beginning, they're all stars, that's for sure. But I think we're about ready to go show you the performance. And by the way, some of these videos, they're older. My editing wasn't as good, and we had some older targets and some other things. And you guys, I just kind of laugh at it when I look back. But still, this is one we reviewed, so go ahead and check that out. All right, 941. All right, so you see what our average velocity is there and our foot-pounds of energy. Now keep in mind that's foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Yeah, not a bad group. Like I said, I just sighted this in with this scope. This is one of the BSA outlooks. Very inexpensive, but they hold up well. We have our trusty Lyman trigger gauge. Let's see how well we do here. Let's reset it. All right. Okay, 1 pound, 5.2 ounces. 1 pound, 5.2 ounces. Yeah, you can't beat that. These are awesome. But what do you expect? German engineering? Wow, that fine work ball, I still can't get over that stock. That thing is a piece of artwork. In fact, I have that displayed in my office in what I call the kind of ring of fame. So my favorite ones are on hooks around the office. That one's right up there. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a trophy. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to get to number 2 here. And number 2, just to throw a hint out there, this is one of the top favorites among most break barrel shooters. And the best part, still buy it. It's still available out there. Some of these other ones are not available or really difficult to find. So, but this is still available. And what other hint should we throw their way? It's made in Germany. Yeah, made in Germany, right? See, great minds think alike. Yeah. All right, I guess the suspense should be over. Let's show them. Let's show them.
Number 2.
There's number 2. Ooh, ooh, can you guys say Beeman, 100% German-made R9? Yeah, this one, there's been a little bit of modifications on it. This normally comes with open sights. As you can see, they're not on here. And there's a muzzle brake on here. That's a custom muzzle brake. So, pretty cool rifle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's another nice wood stock. This one just has a more normal finish. The safety is up on the top. It's also something that you can operate with your thumb. Okay. It's not ambidextrous, but it's very easy to set up.
Without a doubt. And they have fantastic triggers too. But, you know, without getting into this further, let's let them see the performance, and then we'll move on to the next. Because I know you guys are anticipating what number 1 is. And do not fast forward on this. Do not fast forward on this video. You got to wait.
Look at this one. It's worth the watch.
You got to look at this one, and then we'll move on from there. All right. So let's check this out. God, this gun's easy to cock. Okay, one more. 708. All right. So there's your average 5 shots. It's your average feet per second, and foot-pounds of energy. So let's move on to the next. There you go. There's your Beeman R9. The accuracy on these guns are just amazing. All right. Oh, 12.1 ounces. Yeah, I have this thing set really light, but it's very, very easy to adjust. You basically got that adjustment screw right there, and it's very, very simple to adjust. Well, I told you those R9s are absolutely fantastic. They are so much fun to shoot, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. And that's also one with such an easy cocking ability.
Yeah, the caulking effort's nothing on that. Seriously, you shoot that thing all day, right?
Yeah.
Not even break a sweat. Okay, guys, so we're coming to our number one that we've totally agreed. Out of all the brake barrels we reviewed, this is our number one brake barrel overall. So with no further ado, let's bring it forward.
No drum roll necessary.
No drum roll. What is that? Ooh, it's an HW98. This is our number one brake barrel. This is our, you call wine rock. That's in English, the wine rock. And in German, it's Weihach. Believe it or not, Weihach. I'm not an expert in the linguistics of German language. However, that Weihach is how they say it. So I just like to refer it to as the HW98. Absolutely one of my favorites. This also has the record trigger as an R-E-K-O-R-D. Hey Max, you know how to say record in German? Can you come up with that one?
Record.
What?
Record.
Record. Do you know what record? I guess that's the German term for it. You know what that means?
Sure. Means an achievement that surpasses all others.
So it's basically they're describing this trigger as the cream of the crop, right?
That's it.
Can't argue that one. I cannot argue that. These are one of the absolute best triggers. This on the R9 has actually the same trigger. These are identical triggers. In fact, these guns are pretty similar. This has a very unique stock, and it's got a heavy-duty barrel shroud on this one as well. And that's really your main differences between this and the R9, right?
It helps with the shooting.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more heft and weight to it.
Yeah, and then you got the raised, the adjustable cheek rest on this one. And then which we both like is this, right? The
Yes.
Yeah, it's got like a built-in grip tape that's right in the stock, and it's just tremendous. It really is.
Yeah. I just like the looks of that as it comes up here. And of course, all of these guns, the fit and finishes are so top-notch on these things.
Yeah.
And you can see that all the way up around these edges.
Yep. No, it's true. It's true. Well, anyway, let's remind you what the performance was like that, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. .926. That's pretty low standard deviation. And last but not least. Whoa. Hey, at least we did it on camera. This is good. Look at that group. It's basically one hole. That's one hole. So, yeah, these 98s are something special. These triggers are just unbelievable. All right, let's see where we have this one set at. Okay, I got that one set at 8.5 ounces. Yeah, primarily for target shooting. But tremendous triggers, completely adjustable. In my opinion, probably the best brake barrel triggers out there by far. Wow, how is that for performance? That's a nice friendly reminder. You cannot get a better group than what you just saw again. You can't. You can't. I mean, it put every pellet through the same hole. It was unbelievable. And not to mention looks, feel, performance. This has it all. This definitely has it all. And I'm fortunate because I have one in 177 caliber, and then I do have the 25 caliber.
And like you said, all of these guns are all fantastic. It's like you said, going into a store, you know, with Porsches, Mercedes, Ferraris.
Yeah, you go into a big car dealership, right? And they got you lined up with the Porsches, which I kind of lean towards. Anyway, but they got Mercedes and BMWs and all that. Is there really a bad car in that entire group? No, there's not. And that's these top 5 that we're showing you. None of them are bad. They're fantastic. Because if you think about what we reviewed, like we said, well over probably 100 brake barrels since we started this, and these are your top 5. So that says something about every one of them. That, I mean, truly, truly.
And for this gun, Record.
Yeah, there he goes again with the German term for that. But that's the truth. These triggers on these, honest to God, they're second to none. They're my absolute favorite #1 trigger out of all brake barrels. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they really, really are. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our special edition to Airgun Detectives, where we featured the top 5 brake barrels of our choice. In other words, again, these were the ones that we actually used and tested And this is our opinion of the top 5. So I'm sure you might have your own, but this is our opinion. So anyway, I appreciate Max joining us. It's not that often that happens. So thanks for being here, Max. I'm sure everybody, they always like to see this smiling face. And not to mention that we got a little lesson in German linguistics here. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know this guy's like a walking encyclopedia. He really is. So anyway, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. Until next time, I hope you and your families are getting plenty of shooting in and you're all doing really well. So take care and God bless.